A one bourbon, a one scotch, and one beer. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one because isn't regular Angel's Envy like 80 or 90?
86.
86?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we get more, well, I mean, we'd have to get more flavors and stuff out of this one. I don't know. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Over here is Mr. W2. How do you do?
I'm doing good.
Good.
How about
good.
you?
I'm doing all right. Got a lot of stuff going on this week. We've acquired a mutual fan of or respect with.
Oh man,
with Ghostwood.
That was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been talking with them, and we're gonna get a bottle of their upcoming release, and we're going to try that out and hopefully make a cocktail with it. They don't even have any idea what to do with it yet.
We'll figure something out.
So, yeah, I'm sure Mix Master W2 is going to be able to figure something out. And also, on the way over here, I saw that Von Payne followed us back on Twitter.
Pretty awesome.
We're kind of a big deal. It's that goddamn respect. But tonight we are talking about this, the Angels the Angels Reserve store pick.
Angels Reserve?
Angels, Jesus, Tap Dancing Crust.
Well, we had Weller Special Reserve.
Weller
we had
Special Reserve.
Von Payne Reserve.
Yeah, so Angels Envy, as it says here. It's a store pick from Bubbles Wine and Spirit up in...
What's the side?
Up in Parkville, but it's not just Parkville. It's Parkville and
the
Gladstone.
private selection.
Private
single
selection.
Barrel.
Yeah, a single barrel. And it comes with this cool little neck tag. It's supposed to be wings, but it looks kind of like Millennium Falcon, you know?
It's kind of like the Millennium Falcon.
What?
So it looks like the Millennium Falcon.
A little bit. But whatever. We're going to check that out. The original bottle you said was 86?
I think it's 86.
Proof-ish, somewhere in there. If it's not right, don't fucking at W2 at savortheburn.com. Don't send them your hate emails. Yeah, this one clocks in at 110. So it's going to be higher proof, but hopefully that means that, one, it's going to have more flavors in here because we already love the original. And two, as just kind of a side note, I have to believe that it's going to have more flavors in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a better representation of what this stuff is, or what this could
Most
be
definitely.
if they released it all single barrel.
And it's really too bad that we don't have the original one left. We killed that a while back and have not replaced it yet. But it would be interesting to do a side-by-side. I remember when we were at the store when we picked this up, it was very noticeably darker in color than the regular offering.
Had I thought about it, yeah, we totally could have done a side-by-side because, you know, we've got that...
it's Vape World.
Vape World, yeah. It's like pretty much the same store, just different name.
Different owner.
Yeah, different owner. But yeah, I could have stopped over there and grabbed a bottle. But... whatever. We will not lament the things that did not come to pass. So, remind everybody about Angel's Envy, where it comes from, what it's all about, what to expect when they try it if they haven't had it yet. Yeah,
Angel's Envy is Kentucky. More specifically, it comes from Louisville.
And All Poor. Utah, All Poor.
Yeah. Angel's Envy is located in downtown Louisville. Super cool space. Last summer I got a chance to stop in there. We didn't have time to do a tour or anything like that, but we did take time to go by there. Natural cork. Oh wow. And stopped in. That's where I picked up the bottle of the Caribbean rum cask rye, and which was fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, that might hold the top spot in our.
It holds the top spot in mine.
Yeah.
And my son really loves it too.
So their regular offering, which is what this is based off of, is the port cask straight bourbon whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight
And
bourbon
some
whiskey.
folks don't like it. I bought a bottle of it, and I brought it to Into Existence practice, and if you've heard, that's where whiskey bottles go to die. But I brought it over there, and it took a couple practices. They just weren't into it for some reason.
I know a lot of people that just think it's just way too sweet. They said it's more candy.
It's hot. It's so hot. Like, it's so, high proof or whatever. I'm like, it's 80 fucking 6.
Right.
Fucking babies. Right. Oh, well.
Yeah. But this one, we got this one from our friends up at Bubbles in Parkville. We've actually started to get to know them quite a bit, and I think we're going to get an opportunity to do something with them here pretty soon.
I'm pretty stoked about it, too.
Yeah.
You'll have to wait to hear what it's going to be.
Gotta wait, but they're doing some good stuff. They're doing a lot of great stuff. They always have some store picks going on there, and between my sister and this podcast and all that, I have really kind of just latched on to the whole store pick single barrel idea because
it's a whole different animal.
In most cases, it takes something that is a standard year-round product and it takes it to a whole new level because it, just like with the Blantons that we've talked about, they're not all going to be 10s, but. Right. But what ends up happening with a store pick is the distillery sends the store a 6 dozen, however many samples that come from a variety of different barrels, and they get to taste them and make notes and kind of compare and contrast all the different samples, and then settle on which barrel they like the best. So there is kind of and everyone's palate's different. So everyone has a slightly different lean towards one profile or another. So that's why you're never going to please everyone with a store pick. But to me, a store pick means two things. There's a whole nother level of discernment done on what this bottle is. Yeah. And it's not blended with anything. It is a single barrel offering, and in this case, it's barrel proof and it's single barrel. So, 110 is probably not barrel proof. Now that I've said that, it's probably proof down just a little bit.
Yeah,
but at 110,
get more bottles per barrel.
That's really not that far off of barrel proof.
Yeah.
Barrel proof is anywhere from 114 to 130.
130, yeah. The Bookers that we had was 127, I think it was.
And then that JD was 133.
Yeah, right. And so, who would have thought that? And I've heard nothing but great things about Jack Daniels. My son told me there was the rye that they have. It's like a bottled and bond rye that they offer.
I wouldn't mind trying that.
He got a bottle of that, and he said it's amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying that.
Like, run, do not walk to try it.
So I was able to pull. This is a store pick, so the tasting notes that I pulled are not going to match up exactly. However,
it'll put us in the ballpark.
I was able to find tasting notes that were specific to their private selection single barrel program.
Look how dark,
which is what this is. And I pulled some information on here that I did not know, and I was kind of excited about it. So, Angel's Envy was founded by Wes Henderson, which I did not realize that Angel's Envy was founded by Wes Henderson. Wes Henderson is a name that you see on a lot of variety of collaborated bottles, including one of the higher dollar Metallica blackened bottles.
I do remember that name.
Is collaborated with Wes Henderson.
Yeah, we saw that name on one of the blackened bottles up at the Snug.
That one's supposed to be really, really good. It's also, quite a bit more, instead of $43, it's typically like $110, $120 bottle.
Is it going to be that much better?
That's who Wes Henderson is. He is the founder of Angel's Envy, son of late industry icon Lincoln Henderson. Before his passing in 2013, Lincoln worked selecting and blending whiskeys for Angel's Envy Angel's Envy whiskeys made their first appearance in 2011, so they haven't been around really all that long. Just, 13 years now? Mm-hmm. And we've seen 3 ongoing expressions so far. Cask strength bourbon finished in port barrels, bourbon finished in port barrels, and rye finished in rum casks. Specifically, it's the Caribbean rum. And to me, that's what really makes that one. In early 2015, the Angel's Envy Company was acquired by Bacardi. I did not know that either. So Bacardi owns Angel's Envy.
Huh.
And in November 2016, the company opened their Louisville Distilling Company location in downtown Louisville. The Angel's Envy Private Select program is relatively new, beginning in late 2020. Barrels are bottled between 100 and 110 proof, which is close to cask strength of approximately 120 proof. It's kind of what we said, but not quite. This slight reduction in proof is potentially due to the fact that Angel's Envy releases a limited edition cask strength release annually, and if single barrels were released at the same proof, the lines between the two versions could easily be blurred. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Huh.
Look how dark that is in the glass.
It's so
I saw you holding it up to the light and all that.
Well,
and then I looked down and
I gave it a swirl, and I was holding it up there trying to look for the legs, but it took so long for the legs to develop. But I mean, once they did, this is sticky. This is thick with 2 Q's. Like I like my goth girls. This is and it smells wonderful. It smells like Angel's Envy, just more grown up.
Yep.
All the caramel, maybe like a little bit of rye. There's the oaky hint.
The notes I have here also go on to say that the maturation on this is French oak and port cask finish.
Okay, so there's port on this?
Yes, it is port finish. But what I did not know is it's also French oak.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
finish in port wine barrels.
Is it actually bourbon? Because doesn't it have to be an American oak?
It's finished.
Finished
in the port cask. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is specifically Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, finished in port wine barrels. So
it's like dried nuts.
So yeah, what makes it bourbon is it's
walnuts.
It's first aged in
the
American oak. And then after however long, I do not have an age statement on this. If I remember correctly, this is said to be 6 to 8 years.
No wonder it's so dark. I'm ready to get it on the palate. It coats well.
I hadn't even got it on the palate yet. Just the glass touching my lips, and it's pure candy.
Yeah, I mean, it's super sweet, delicious.
Vanilla, caramel, lot of toffee, lot of oak.
Mm-hmm. So this has spent time in 2 other barrels that the regular release doesn't.
The regular release is also port wine barrel finished.
But is it also French oak?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. That was just something that I had picked up on when I was putting this together.
This is pretty damn incredible. Maybe we can do a side by side because Hy-Vee also has their own store pick.
Okay.
Their own bottle pick, store pick, whatever. It'd be another $70 fucking dollars.
Right.
Try it out, but I'm willing because this is definitely one of my favorite bourbons because I like them sweet.
Yeah.
I like them sweet.
And even though we've already done it on the podcast, I'm kind of interested to pick up the regular offering and put it side by side with this.
We could do 3. We could do all damn 3.
It might be interesting, if possible, to find, depending on what that Hy-Vee store pick is, if it's anything less than 110. This one coming in at 110. How does that compare to 105 or 100?
Yeah, you know what? You just reminded me this is 110.
It doesn't drink like 110.
It doesn't. It drinks like I don't know, like a
I'd say
lower
95,
like a lower
94.
shelf 90. Yeah. Because the lower shelf 90s will have so much of that, alcohol kind of, feeling to it.
Whew.
I mean, this 110, you expect it. And it's there, but it's not. And the aftertaste is dark fruit and just long, lingering warmth. Yeah, if you're a fan of Angel's Envy, go find yourself a store pick. And you'll see the store pick. It'll be like a little label down here, and it may or may not have the little charm necklace.
And don't be surprised. The regular Angel's Envy, depending on where you get it, is anywhere between $40 and $48.
Yeah.
This is going to be closer to 90.
70.
Yeah,
70
to 90.
Yeah, I think this one was like
Wasn't it like 80?
Yeah, 80.
Maybe it was 79.
79, 80.
Something like that. So you're going to pay a little bit more for it, but
And
you're
the one
getting
at
a lot
Hy-Vee
more.
was like 79, 80. Now that I think about it, and she wouldn't even let me hold it in my hands. She presented it to me like this, and she wouldn't let go. When I tried, I was like, "May I, read this?" And because small letters and stuff, and I'm
Right.
trying to read it. And as I get older, it gets harder to read, itsy bitsy little writing, But is yeah, I couldn't. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll get my readers for my bourbon hunting. But yeah, she wouldn't let it go. She's like, "I'm sorry, store policy." I'm like, I get it.
Right.
I'm from Raytown. I look like a bum, and I'm asking about your store pick, Angel's Envy.
You got skulls on.
I'm wearing skulls. I was probably wearing like my work stuff, so it's got paint all over it, and I look like an animal.
So something that is completely impromptu that I just kind of thought of this week and thought it'd be a great thing to break out and talk about. A couple weeks ago we had Old Forester on, and then we also had the Junction 35 that you got to visit in Tennessee. And you had the same kind of experience at Junction 35 that I experienced all over Kentucky. When we were in Louisville last summer, I got to do the Michter's tour, and like I said, we stopped in at Angel's Envy. We went to Buffalo Trace the next day, and everywhere we stopped, it seemed that everyone was super, super proud of their limestone-rich Kentucky water.
Yeah.
And in the case of Junction 35, it's the limestone-rich Tennessee water. But everyone just goes on and on and on and on about their water and the difference to make. And so a while back, my sister had she had picked up a bottle of this, and I thought, man, okay, let's put this in the mix, because we're Kentucky bourbons. We're right here on the Bourbon Trail. So it is a old limestone mixing water. It is official water of Kentucky bourbon. It is the limestone water, and this actually I think comes right from Louisville. So this is going to be the exact same water that was used in Angel's Envy, in Michter's, in Old Forester, in Peerless.
So how do you want to?
In Evans Williams.
You want to do Evan Williams? Do you want to do? Do it by the dropper? Okay.
Now I'm just gonna pour us up just a little bit.
Okay.
And we've each got our own glass of our good old Shawnee, Kansas water. And I thought, start with our good old Kansas water.
Yeah.
You get used to whatever is your local, so
Yeah.
Tastes like water.
I'm not right. Yeah, I'm not super zeroed in on the different flavors on your water, but your water I have noticed tastes like the filtered water from work. Like we have a water filter thing. You just stick your bottle under it or whatever, and for whatever reason, it tastes more like milk than actual water.
So currently, the water line on our door dispenser is frozen.
Oh no.
So yeah, I have to turn down the freezer a little bit. So it happens every once in a while, but it is what it is. That's filtered water. Mm-hmm. This is right from the tap. So this is going to be. Yeah. I think typically our water here tends to be very hard. Mm-hmm. Water, just because I know around all the faucets we always get all that white powder that kind of builds up in on that.
Not much for legs. Not much for legs at all. Looks like it's I don't know. What is the...
Well, let's get it on the palate.
Let's get it on the palate. That is different.
It's a very clean
clean water. More like of a minerally kind of taste to it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if it's, worthy
like spring water.
Making a big deal of it, but if you're pulling that water right out of the river next to you, I mean, it's
definitely not the Missouri River.
Well,
holy shit!
I was getting ready to say it's been a while since I've done it, but I've gone on the Boulevard Brewery tour a few times.
Yeah, that's right along that river,
and
you can smell it on Harrah's too.
Yeah, well. The smell down there, I don't know what's going on. It's more like a French fry vat gone wrong.
It does smell like French fries. I thought it was crazy.
No, and some days it's like bad French fry grease.
Dude, it's always bad French fry grease.
But if you go on the Boulevard Brewery tour, they start you off with a little like 3-4 minute video of beer production and all that, and they make a point of talk about the Missouri, our fantastic Kansas City, Missouri
water.
water.
A couple drops. If what you got left, and swirl it around. Like I may have had 3 or 4 drops in there, and it just kind of softened every bit of hard edge that the 110 proof had.
Maybe even the nose too.
And kind of brought out some of the oak. Anyway, as you were saying.
No, I was just saying the Boulevard tour. They make a point of talking about the Great Missouri Kansas City water, and they do it in kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of manner, where they show some pictures of the brown water rolling by underneath the bridge. Which, I mean, it's all filtered and cleaned and sanitized and all that fun stuff, but
I fucking hope.
Yeah.
Oh, brown water, keep on rolling.
No, but on the Michter's tour, they actually had chunks of limestone that they had that they were kind of showing as examples of a lot of the water that they end up getting and use is filtered through this limestone. I guess it's just porous enough that it acts as a filter.
That's pretty cool.
And so, I mean, I guess that plays into why they make a big deal of it. But
yeah, the limestone we have around here produces radon that fills our houses and gives us cancer.
Right.
So the Kentucky limestone apparently it's more highfalutin. It's pinkies up limestone. Goddamn Sugar Creek came over and ruined it for everybody. We could have had decent, hard-working, honest American Midwest limestone. So we must have tried the Angel's Envy early on.
I think we did.
Because...
and I don't even remember what we rated, so I'm sure you've looked that up.
I have, and I was kind of surprised.
Oh, they're big numbers.
They are big numbers.
Yeah.
I've got 2 5s on this son bitch. Like, how did I give this a 5 on bottle presentation? How? I don't know. You know what? Your 5 is your 5 until you see a 5.
Right.
When that Booker's came along, oh my God, yeah, okay, 5. When the Von Payne Special Reserve, that's a 5. When the
Blanton's.
Redbreast, the Blanton's, the Redbreast 21, that's a 5.
Yep.
Like, even just regular ass fucking Crown Royal could very well be a 5. Yeah. It's got a super fancy bottle, iconic design. It comes with its own little bag. It comes in a box, just like Blanton's does. It doesn't have a little horsey.
Doesn't
But
have
it's
the
got a
horsey.
little fancy lid on it.
Or a caribou.
Or a caribou. But that fancy little lid is plastic. Whatever. So, we've talked about it. We've tasted it. We've enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. What do you got on the nose?
4 3/4.
You gave it 4.5.
4.5 is what I gave it last time. And I thought this smelled better than it did last time. So I just kind of went off my notes and bumped it up a 1/4 point.
All right.
One of them I dropped.
You said 4 3/4.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 3/4. Palate, another.
What did I give it last time? Do you have that handy?
Yeah. Let me unlock the phone.
Don't spoil all of it for me, but
Yes, on the nose, 4 1/4.
okay. So I bumped it up.
You did bump it up. Very good. This time on the palate, I gave it a 4 3/4.
I gave it 4.5.
You gave it a 4.5. You gave it the same.
Okay.
On the finish, what did you give it?
4.5.
That's what you gave it last time. Interesting. Interesting.
It's a good solid finish.
Definitely. It's long. It's lingering. It's really everything. I gave it a 4 3/4, and last time I gave it a 5. It's just this time I have a little bit more experience.
Sure.
And I'm a little bit more discerning.
Like you said, this was early on, and I feel like this was like right shortly after we actually went from just a single number to breaking it out into the various different categories. But yeah, we've gotten a lot more discerning. If we were to go back to the original one, which may be a great thing to do from time to time, and in this case, maybe put this side by side next to it and then re-rate it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that says we can't re-rate it just because those were the numbers at one point.
It is our show.
Maybe it warrants adjusting over time, especially as new things come into play and we try different things.
I'm for that.
Everything should kind of do this. Everything will settle at some point. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
How about bottle presentation?
I gave this a 4.5.
You gave it a 4.5 last time.
Did I?
Yeah. And since I gave it a 5 last time, I give it a 5 this time because it's. I know. No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the continuation. This is part 1 of Derby Day weekend.
That's right.
We have a lot of things going on. I forgot to mention that earlier. There's a few things that I forgot to mention earlier. This is one of them. This is part 1 of the Derby Day weekend. So after we're done with this, we're going to don our ridiculous hats, and then we're going to start talking about Woodford Reserve. I'm sure you've seen that up here behind us. So definitely stay tuned. It airs tomorrow.
Yes,
it airs tomorrow. So we're interested in hearing what you got to say about it because, one, we've tried the Woodford Reserve before, a couple of them, I think, and we didn't really get a whole lot of feedback on it, but we didn't have a lot of different ways to get feedback at the time. So
and the
we
Woodford
did have our email, but
and
we did have the YouTube drop, but it was audio only, just like it is on all other podcast apps. No matter however it is that you want to listen to us, we're definitely available on that. But it's audio only. This time we will have video, and the
last time we got around to doing the regular Woodford Reserve. I think that was still back when we just were giving single numbers to it. So if you go out on the website, I don't have any of our rating information online.
Right.
Because we weren't really...
Yeah, we didn't put those on there.
As involved with the rating. So, yeah, we'll give it a rating and go from there.
See if Woodford Reserve is in our liquor cabinet here under bourbons.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's probably down towards the bottom because, like I said, it is unrated in there. So
there's that navigator.
This is for Derby Day weekend.
Yep, there's no ratings on the Woodford Reserve.
Yeah. So did not work out to where I was going to be in Louisville for Derby Day weekend. However, I will be in Louisville for Father's Day weekend.
Okay.
And we are actually planning on going to a race at the Churchill Downs.
You're going to be there.
I will be there. We're going to go to a race.
How cool.
We're going to wear some crazy hats. We're going to go to the museum.
Do it. Get yours all gussied up. Put some Blanton's horses on it and stuff. Have you seen some of the guys' hats?
Oh, yeah.
They're incredible. Yeah. Like, where the hell are these people getting these hats? But you know where they're getting them? They're making them. Mm-hmm. How crazy is that? Before we get into all that, what did you give it? What was your final score?
I was 4.5 all the way down, so that turns into a 9.
It's a 9 even. I was at 9 5/8, 9.625.
Very nice.
So, all in all, we rated the Angels Envy, the Bubbles Wine and Spirits store pick higher. Not much higher, but definitely higher than we originally rated the original, if that makes sense. It's definitely a flavor explosion. It's definitely darker. That could be because of the port cask aging. Along with the extra aging from the French oak.
That port cask just adds so much to it. But beyond that, this being a single barrel, I feel like is really what's kind of helping elevate all those caramel and vanilla flavors.
Right. It's kind of everything that you love about Angel's Envy just brought up a notch. It was like going from the Jim Beam white label to the Jim Beam extra aged black label.
And honestly, if you're one of those that has tried the regular Angel's Envy and it's just not your thing, or it's too sweet for you, I feel like the higher proof in this, I don't think it burns by any means, but the higher proof gives a little bit more of that spice.
I think it might be sweeter. But it definitely...
It might be.
It hits harder as far as spice goes. It really does.
Yeah, like I said, I noticed the sweetness before it had even hit the palate.
Yeah. It hits the lips, and you're like, oh my goodness. Welcome to the candy shop.
Candy.
And the empty glass smells different too. Like I'm picking up cereal notes.
It's always cereal.
Yeah, cereal notes and like fruit. Not like Fruity Pebble cereal or whatever, but like dried stone fruit. Or just dried fruit and nuts. It was like mixed nuts, cereal. It's interesting for sure.
So we didn't even talk about the tasting notes that I pulled. For their
syrup.
Their private barrel program is on the nose. They've got sweet cinnamon bun, syrup, vanilla custard, creme brulee. 100%.
Yeah.
Spicy oak. Yep.
Yeah.
Full and inviting.
And whatever the hell that means.
And on the palate, integrated cinnamon, maple, oak. Okay. Yeah. Raisin.
There's a dried fruit.
Stewed fruit. Leather. I don't know if I get leather on that.
Stewed fruit?
Yeah, kind of like...
put fruit in a stew.
Like stewed apples.
What? That's a thing?
It is a thing. Mm-hmm.
What do they do with them? They stew them, but... I've heard of stewed tomatoes.
Yeah. It's same kind of process.
Yeah, but what do you do with it? Like tomatoes, I mean, you might use them in a sauce or a gravy, as the Italians say, or you might use it in a
you might use
a chili or something.
You might use apples in
apples.
You might use them in a salsa or in I don't know. I've had them before, but I'm totally blanking on what.
Leave us your favorite
stewed
suggestions for stewed apples right down here in the comments on the YouTube. And if you're listening on a podcast, shoot us an email. Of course, you've got email. Shoot us an email, info@savortheburn.com, w2@savortheburn.com, jonathan@savortheburn.com. And while you're checking us out on YouTube, hit the subscribe and the little bell notification so you can stay up to date on all things Savor the Burn. So, I want to hear what everybody has to say about stewed apples. That kind of fucking blew me away. What about the finish?
Finish says stewed cherries.
Stewed cherries? What the hell is that?
Mild spices, light custard on back end, leather, dry oak, and a medium length. And
I get the dry oak. I don't get the leather.
I 100% agree with the medium length.
Medium length?
I feel like I love the finish on this. Obviously, I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah.
It's not a long and lingering finish.
I thought it was at first, but it doesn't.
It just kind of.
It's like
just
it's
has a nice
long,
medium
but it
taper.
doesn't linger. So I guess that means it's medium.
No.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got a lot of things to offer, and I really like that. And the little neck tag here
That's a cool little
might make
addition.
a great Christmas tree ornament
There you go.
for the holidays. So we'll see what I end up doing with that. Who knows? Anything else you might add?
I enjoyed this thoroughly. This is a win.
It's a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yes, sir.
Or not so chicken dinner. Well, thank you for watching this episode of the Savor the Burn podcast. Once again, thank you for following along on all podcast apps and right here on YouTube. If you're watching here, leave us a comment, share with anybody who may be on the fence as to what to do or what to think with these store picks. See if we can help them answer some questions. And if you have questions, please send them in. Like I said earlier, info at savortheburn.com, w2@savortheburn.com, Jonathan at savortheburn.com. And keep an eye out. Episode number 2. It's going to be 3 parts, right?
Should just be 2 parts.
2 parts. Episode part 2.
Whatever it takes.
Coming out tomorrow. Derby Day weekend starts now. So, no matter who you are, what you're drinking, who you drinking it with, whether it be Savor the Burn Studios or with your favorite horse racing jockey, or maybe even your favorite horse, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Never forget, keep on burning.